with why did you choose to work with Estée Lauder? I've had some brief conversations with you earlier, and you talked about that you're aligned with a lot of values. So let's start with you, Pernille. What is something that you feel that you're really aligned with when it comes to Estée Lauder in your own beliefs?
No, what I really like with Estée Lauder is that she dared to dream big, and she didn't only dare to dream big, she also worked really hard to achieve it. And that's something I think we can really align with, and also the fact that you sometimes have to take chances to be able to succeed with what you want to do with your life. And yeah, that's something we have been doing the whole career. Moving countries, moving to new clubs, it's always a chance. You never know how it will turn out, but we have to be able to succeed at some point.
I love that. So kind of using every challenge and adversity to kind of your advantage, or stepping stone to the dream.
Yeah.
I love that. You, Magdalena?
I think Mike can speak about the founder and her way of pioneering and also changing an industry. I think that is something that aligns with what we're doing, because we play football. Everyone knows football is a male-dominated industry and has been for many, many years. So I think that inspires me really much, to know that we are also pioneers in our industry. We're trying to change it. We're trying to make it an industry where women is as welcomed as men, and where everyone is welcomed. So that is, a big passion of ours, and one of the big reasons why we are, trying to be the role models and the best role models that we can be.
You're actually facing somewhat the same challenges that Estée was facing back in 1946, but you're facing it today in 2024, where it's a male-dominated industry that you work in.
Yeah,
so that's
I think we face it almost every day since we started our career. I remember back when I was a youth player. I come from a small city in Denmark, but it's a city that's really known for creating athletes. But the only sport they didn't have was women's football. There was no women's football team. But I saw really closely how the boys, they had the best academies in Denmark, in this town, and I saw how they had all opportunities to be able to fulfill their potential.
Yeah.
They had the best coaches, the athletic coaches, the psychologists, strength coaches, so they had everything, but I didn't have anything. So I had to drive 1 hour to training every day, and I had to do my own gym program. I had to Google if I had an injury, all these things, and it was that point I found out that okay, it's not equal this world, and I think at that point my passion to fight for equality really started.
So is there something in that adversity and challenge that you now can say is really something that's turned into wisdom, because you had to experience that and you had to kind of overcome it? Is there something that you really feel today that has become an advantage in?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I found out that I have to take control of my own development. I didn't get anything for free, so I knew that I had to find out myself, how should I do in the gym? How should I be the best version of myself? So I think that's an advantage, but of course it would also be nice to get the same support sometimes.
But again, you self-empowered yourself.
Excuse me?
You self-empowered yourself in that journey.
Yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. Magdalena, have you some experience where something has been really challenging, but you've overcome it through your experience?
I think my journey is very similar to Pernille's, which is crazy when you think about it. I think Sweden and Denmark are really progressive countries, and countries where equality has come a really far way, and still we have experienced this in our lifetime. And I can only imagine how much more difficult it is in other countries, and other young girls aspiring to be professional football players or professional in anything really. So that has definitely been an adversity that we've experienced throughout our whole career in different ways. I think we've finally reached a point now where we can be the professionals that we want to be. We can put 100% focus in being the best that we can be, but I think the adversity that we have faced has made us grow as humans and made us understand that football is more than just sport. It is about equality and opportunity and creating dreams, and I think that's something that women footballers understand, that football stands for so much more, because we've face the adversity ourselves, and that's why I think you see female football players taking stands in many different questions and driving questions like trying to save the environment, trying to end discrimination and racism, and I think it's really cool to see, and that must be a reason because we have just faced that adversity ourselves.
Oh, I love that. I can clearly see why you chose these.
Yeah.
True inspirations and role models, and I love that you're so aligned with the energy of the founding female, Estée Lauder. She was famously quoted to say that confidence breeds beauty. How would you say that you build or accumulate confidence?
I think it's important to have a really good self-picture. You have to know yourself. You should not think maybe too much about yourself, but also not too less. You have to know exactly what is your strength, what are you good at, and then also know what areas in your field or your personality that you can develop, get better at. And then I also think there is some things you're not good at, and you maybe just have to accept that and let someone else do it.
Just have that self-compassion that's fine.
And then mostly just focus on your strength. And then for me, I think the development gives me a lot of confidence for every improvement I see in my football or my personal growth. It gives me a lot of confidence. So I actually think focusing on my strength, but also really working on myself gives me confidence.
Magdalena, how do you build confidence?
I think confidence has been one of my biggest obstacles in my career, or a big challenge for me, especially when I was younger. I always had this little bit of imposter syndrome, and I was just thinking someone is going to soon notice that I'm not really good enough to be here. So I think for me, experience has helped me grow the confidence. So just knowing that I have been able to do things, and just telling myself that I am good enough, and look as far as you've come, and reflecting on my journey has helped me. But meeting Pernille and having her,
what is it in her support that has given you more confidence?
When she was, I don't know how young you were when you said that you want to be the best player in the world.
Oh, I love that.
And for me, I couldn't even have those words in my mouth. I would get stress from just saying it. But you're really calm and just thinking, I want to. I mean, I don't know if I will be the best player in the world, but I want to. And why should I be afraid of saying it? So I think that's extremely cool, and it has inspired me a lot, and helped me a lot to just see how you can work with yourself and how you can build that core confidence. And it's extremely important in our industry and in any industry, because there's so many opinions about you, there's so much outside pressure. I think everyone here knows how that feels like, with comments and people thinking everything about you. So the core confidence is so important, but it doesn't just come like this. It is a long journey.
It's a journey. That's beautiful, and I'm glad you guys have each other, and I mean that just proves how important it is to surround yourself with people that support you and can keep affirming that dream that you have for yourself. So to end this conversation, I would love for you to share some words of wisdom. What can you, if you want us to take anything from this conversation, or just what you set out to do in this life and everything that you're passionate about, what you want, what message would you want to leave us with?
Well, I think it's important that we help each other, that the people that are privileged help the people who is not that privileged. And I think it's also important to understand that also life is not like a straight line. Sometimes there will be good times, there will be difficult times, but no matter what, difficult times will pass, and also good times will also pass. So the best thing is actually to be in the moment and take control over that moment and make the best out of the cards that you've been given in the different situations. That's something I have learned, and I really use a lot, to just really be in the moment and enjoy it.
Thank you. Magdalena, do you have some words of wisdom?
I think for me it's I play in a team sport. Football is a team sport, and I think that is my message. Is no one is strong alone. I think when we stand together, when we empower each other and help each other and push each other, that's when we're the strongest. I think as women we have to support each other, because we know we have to fight still, and there is a long way left, but if we help each other, support each other, empower each other, we can create so many good things together. And for me that is the most important thing, that, like Pernille said as well, the ones with privilege help the ones without privilege, and together we move, because we need more women in the world, in high places.
Thank you, I love that. Maiken, do you want to end with something? What would Estée tell us today if she was here?
What would she tell us? I mean, she already told us so many things, so maybe I'll just put it together like this little quote that maybe ties it together. So Estée once said, "I never dreamt about success. I worked for it." And I think that's just a perfect way to end this, because it's what we are doing every day, all of us in this room. It's like you set yourself a goal you're so passionate about, and then you work for it to achieve it. It's, of course, you have a dream, but you have to work to get there. You girls really been like experiencing that, but I think that in many industries today still, women have to work a little bit harder than men. Sorry, but it's just like it still is like that in some industries, especially in the industry that you're in. And I think that's why it's also so important that we from Estée Lauder partner up with women who are role models, who have something they believe in and something they're fighting for, something they're working hard for, that you really are. It's not just your role models, it's not just because you're great soccer players. You're not only role models to everyone who cares about soccer, who has a passion for soccer. I think you are role models for every woman, both today and the younger generation. You're really breaking down the invisible barriers in your field. So I think Estée would just have approved. I think so too. I hope so at least. And then she would hope for all of us today. Like, I hope that everyone will feel a little bit empowered and a little bit more confident. As said, confidence breeds beauty. Beauty doesn't stand alone. It's not just about having the perfect routine or the perfect product. It's also something that comes from within, so that matches together. And I think that's why it's still relevant. Her words today are still relevant. It still lives in the company. It's still our values. She was an icon, and she still is today.
Thank you so much. And I think she would say for us to be aware of our infinite possibilities, and to really believe in ourselves, and to take action, to keep trying, not give up because of adversity or challenges. See that as a stepping stone rather than a setback.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.